Boys and girls, I don't know how many of you people went to a recent, a shop to buy your automobile. When my dad used to buy a car for the family, he used to ask 3 questions. What is the resale value? And what is the mileage? Do I get service wherever I go? Maruti became a big brand of this country because of these 3 strengths. But today, we are going to automobile, manufacturers, and we talk about the futures available in the car. So when I am riding the car, can I see my email? Do you have a voice-enabled system in the car where I can say my email response, it automatically types and sends an email? If you are on the road and the rain starts coming, do you have an auto wiper system? And if you go to Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, when I take a turn, is the light also takes a turn? These are the kind of questions what customers are asking to go when they go and buy a car these days. Nobody is bothered about engine, performance, kilometers, economy, etc., etc. And that is what is a fact. And that is what is a fact. And that made BMW and Mercs to start manufacturing mid-size, low-cost cars in this country. Hope you have seen the new Mercedes-Benzes and BMWs coming on the Indian roads with 20-25 lakhs, which was not the case in the past 1 decade. The reason behind it is customers are the source of business. So we are changing very rapidly. Every sector is changing very rapidly to do a different customer, experience. Talking about academic institutions. At some point of time, when I joined my engineering in 1990 and PSG College of Technology in Coimbatore for masters, my Google is my dad. We never had Google those point of time. My Google is my dad, and my dad used to ask, who is the professor of this college? Who is the principal of this college? Who is the management of this college? Show me the library, etc., etc. Today, the question that parents ask in every academic institute is, who is the placement officer? Call him. I don't think, sorry sir, I'm not exaggerating. In most of the T schools, technology schools, principal tells me, because I keep visiting to a lot of schools across the globe, he says, I only get to know to parents when there's a problem. Otherwise, they don't come to me. Okay, show us your lab. What kind of computers we have? What is the infrastructure? These are the kind of questions parents are asking before admitting kids into the engineering education and B schools and T schools in this country. So I think everything is changing. Everything is going through tremendous amount of opportunities in providing a modified and a constant upgraded experience to customers. And that's which is the biggest selling point for Apple, right? Apple, the same phone. You can make calls, you can receive calls. And Apple completely disrupted the thought of mobile by giving a new modified mobile phone to us. That became so successful. A different experience to the customer. That's it. The best example is Apple. In fact, had a pleasure of working for Apple for a couple of years when I was staffing for Apple, because Apple is our important customer for TCS, and we have our delivery centers in Bangalore. So I used to interact with most of the Apple management. It's a pleasure to see the kind of passion they have in changing the customer experience release after release of their mobile phone. So I think the second bucket is spending a lot of money in changing the customer experience. And the third place where customer is going towards is globalization. Everybody wants to become global, including recent finance minister talking about etc., in the defense also. Everybody wants to become global. Everybody wants to attract global, investments, and everyone wants to become a global brand. And the fourth bucket is going to be risk management. When you are expanding a lot, what exactly is my risk management platform in my company? A lot of MBAs plays a very important role in this bucket. Identifying the risks, mitigating the risk, the entire risk management supply chain is going to be very crucial for organizations. And the fifth one, which is very important, is they want to drive compliance. Oh, I'm growing. I'm going after products. I'm just expanding across all geographies. What exactly is my compliance index? And the last one is sustaining all the other 5. At any given point of time, I need to be very efficient. I have to be customer focused. I need to be 100% on compliance. And I have everything that is done to take care of my risks, etc., and I'm extremely global in nature. how to constantly sustain this and scale up this is something what customer is looking for. You need to understand that and proactively do what is needed as part of MBA course to be able to differentiate between you and the rest of the competition. And I said, look at the technology also. I just want to give you one very tough input. If you like it or not, I leave it to you. MBAs are not just managers. You need to dirty your hands. You need to dirty your hands with respect to technology in whatever the field you go. Today, customers listen to people who speak domain and also technology along with it, because technology is becoming the enabler. Technology is becoming the enabler. For example, social media business you are talking about. Who gave the platform? Technology gave us the platform of what is it, social marketing. Who gave the platform of geosocial marketing? Technology gave the platform of geosocial marketing. Who gave the platform of mobility? Technology has given the platform of mobility. Without these words, business doesn't exist. So you need to understand the technology, what's happening around you. You need to dirty your hands to understand the technology. And in fact, in TCS, what we do is, whenever you come and join TCS, be in the line function, understand how software gets delivered, understand how a software development lifecycle gets delivered, and get into your functional groups, including HR. I am preaching this in TCS. Please go out there and understand. Because for a TCS, for an IT organization, the delivery is nothing but services and products. Please do understand that. So you need to be extremely good at understanding technology. I'll give you a couple of examples, if I'm not taking too much of your time. Sir, am I allowed for 15 more minutes? What are the trends we are seeing in technology? I spoke about 6 buckets of customer objectives for this decade, where a lot of money is going to be spent so that you and me gets opportunities. And I'm also going to talk about the 5 technology drivers for the next 1 decade. In fact, if you see any of our Chandra, our CEO's, what is that message in the recent NDTV walk and talk. So everywhere you keep hearing to this. So what makes Indian IT companies, or what makes the companies become extremely competitive with respect to technology is the following 5. Number 1, social media. The technological advancements you are seeing in social media, the kind of technology platforms available in social media, and the kind of technical advancements happening in social media, which is not even 10 years old. The first one. A lot of investment and a lot of transformation we need to bring with respect to how to use or how to build the right technology platforms for social media. And number 2, cloud. I'll not talk much deeper into this because you are MBA, students, but you need to understand what exactly is a cloud, because the concept of cloud gave different marketing strategies for technology and product companies. The best example of cloud computing is nothing but TCS Ion platform. If you look at, go and Google about TCS Ion is a concept built on cloud, which is going to offer IT solutions through TAP. It's a new concept that we brought, a new philosophy that we brought in the IT industry. When you want water, you go open the tap and drink, right? So we are saying, go, you want technology, open the tap, take the technology and leave it. And you pay for that particular transaction. A fantastic case study that every MBA student must look at what happened in the last 4 or 5 years of IT industry, which made TCS extremely competitive with the rest of the others, is Ion platform of TCS. Simple logic behind it is using the technology of cloud. MBA students are going to play a very, very important role, analytics, the concept of big data, which gives analytics for us. I'll give a small example of analytics. Let's look at E.S. Chakravarthy. I'll not talk about customer. I'll not talk about the brand that we serve for, extremely confidential, but let me explain the outcome of analytics in this country. So Mr. Chakravarthy is employed from 1997. So every month I'm taking salaries, and I'm investing, I'm spending, I'm gifting, I'm buying, and a whole amount of transactions are getting generated in every rupee I spend, in every rupee I earn. and in between my wife makes me to swipe cards after cards, and I end up in paying, and you go and invest on revenue, on real estate or the apartments, etc., etc. The whole huge amount of data is getting generated. I'll tell you what is the outcome of analytics. Somebody is following, of course, with a proper confidentiality and etc. Somebody is collecting my data, somebody is structuring my data, somebody is reading my data, and somebody is fixing a probability to my next spend. For example, hey guys, we know E.S. Chakravarthy in the market, and we studied him, and we have analysis. If TCS gives the next salary to E.S. Chakravarthy, the probability of E.S. Chakravarthy going and buying the next pair of shoes is anywhere between 90% to 100%. Can you believe it? And this is the, the power of analytics. They are actually putting a probability to whatever I do for the future. And they're saying the probability of E.S. Chakravarthy going and investing into bonds is 60%. If I have that kind of powerful data, which is based on some analytics framework, you see what value I create? Companies wants to buy. MBA students, phenomenal role to play. Big data, analytics. And the fourth one is mobility. Why you are in TAPMI? Because you are all extremely mobile. I am from Andhra. Why I'm in Bangalore for the last 17 years. In between 9 years in North America, 1 year in Canada, couple of months of trips to various places across the globe. Because we're extremely mobile. And that makes us to grow. So, for all of us to grow further, mobile phone makes us that. And especially in engineering colleges, when I talk about mobile phones, I see principal and HODs looking at me very seriously. Sir, why you talk about mobile phones here? Because mobile phones are banned in this particular, institute. Hope the same is not the case with TAPMI. I say, sir, principal sir, we need people who can build mobile technologies, and we expect them to learn in engineering, and you ban mobile phones in engineering education. How can I expect somebody who is extremely good in mobile competencies are going to come? I think every technology comes with good and bad. We need to ignore the bad and look at good and move forward. But anyway, every principal has their own challenges in the engineering colleges. Let me not talk about it. So, mobility. Mobility is something which is going to be the future of the industry. Doing your banking transactions on mobile. In fact, Sriram picked me up from the airport today. Thank you, Sriram, for coming and making me comfortable. He gave a booklet to me from 2014 report. I want to ask him a question. Why can't you give me a mobile app? Why you want to print so much of paper? Sorry, I'm taking as an example. Why we need to print so much of paper? Can you give me a small mobile app, which I can just load it from your phone to my phone using Bluetooth? How much of paper we reduced? These are the kind of ideas we are seeing in every field to bring mobile and get rid of so much of traditional stuff that we are doing. I went to a hospital. My dad is a doctor. He was talking to me the other day, a couple of days back. He said, hey guys, why can't you, for example, why can't you come up with a mobile app which a patient will load in the mobile, and he can do online, slot reservation for a doctor, appointment, sorry, for a doctor. And whenever I type in my computer, when he comes and meets me, when I type his medication in the computer, he should automatically go to the mobile app, and whatever the prescription I write, 15 minutes before it has to give a reminder. Can you believe it? A rural practitioner is talking about these kind of mobile apps. I'll give one more very interesting example. When you have mobile, everything else also becomes mobile. See, let's look at this particular example. Mom is very good at home. Dad is very strict. So I want pocket money. So mom gives 1,000 rupees in my credit card. Okay, whatever it may be, in my ATM card. I go to a shop. I get excited because of the people I have around me. So I end up in spending 1,200 rupees. So 1,000 rupees ATM card. What you will do with the rest of the 200 rupees? You have only two options. One is the shop guy has to give discount, or one of the friends has to pay, but I'll talk about a new currency that is going to come in India. Boss, I need to pay 200 rupees for you, right? I have Airtel minutes worth of 200 rupees in my phone. Can I transfer that to you? A new alternate currencies are going to kick in because of the mobile you are carrying. Can you believe it? You are going to, I'm telling you, you are going to pay your fees shortly using your Airtel minutes. Everything becomes mobile, right? So I think these are the trends we are seeing in the market with respect to the kind of phenomenal platforms, okay, that we have. So I think, boys and girls, I spent enough time on building competencies, talking about the customer, talking about the industry, talking about the technology flavors that we are seeing around the globe. Please, please invest on building competencies, especially application of the fundamentals is very, very important. And that is the basic platform which will build your competencies for the future. Now I spoke about the second one, right? The culture. I'll spend 5-10 minutes of time, which is very, very important. What exactly is the culture that we need to nurture in this great institute? So we are nurturing our competencies, which will provide phenomenal amount of success with respect to our professional career. And this point of culture is something which is going to bring both personal and professional satisfaction. Let me talk about what exactly is the culture that you need to nurture for yourself. Let me give you a couple of examples. Culture of innovation. You need to nurture for yourself. I have to be different from rest of the others. How can I be different from rest of the others? I do two things. One is, I do things differently, or I do different things. That is innovation. How can I be more innovative? Constantly, in everything that I do, creates a sense of innovation, and that is going to take this country forward. All this while we enjoyed IT services and solutions, what is it now, opportunities because of cost arbitrage and labor arbitrage. But if we don't invest on culture of innovation, we are not going to grow. Academic institutions has to invest on innovation. Companies have to invest on innovation, and individuals have to invest on innovation. We need to nurture the culture of innovation for all of us to become successful. One more culture I can talk about, which is something I teach normally in TCS, is culture of targets versus actuals. All MBA students, you need to learn this from day zero. Target, actual. The entire professional life and personal life is going to be a combination of targets, actuals, targets, actuals. And once you fix the target, target is not going to change. The way in which you meet the target has to change. And that is something which brought a tremendous amount of inspiration in TCS. Look at TCS 6-7 years before and after that. So somewhere in 2006, 2007, you pick up the balance sheet of TCS, go through the balance sheet of TCS before and after. Now our growth is like hockey stick. We just went like this. TCS growth in the last 6 years, beating all the competition, is just like a hockey stick. You know why? Our new CEO started asking us to like numbers. He always used to say, numbers are the source of energy. What do you get 3 numbers in TCS? Top line, bottom line, customer satisfaction index. He said, start liking these 3. Have a romantic feeling towards these 3. That's enough. If you start liking the numbers, growth will automatically come. The kick for numbers, the kick for targets, and going after them and meeting them, going after them and meeting them. You need to get that strong focus and rigor on looking at targets, going after it, and achieving it. There is absolutely no other alternative in TCS. Once the scorecards are set, the balanced scorecards are defined, the only path you have is go and meet the balanced scorecard. And that makes you successful in TCS. For that matter, any industry which goes after profits and losses. So the culture of targets and actuals is something you need to start picking up. And one more very interesting thing that my CEO always used to talk to us is, inspiration is free. See, when I'm giving the balanced scorecard to you, inspire yourself and put numbers which are extremely good for me and for you, because let's aspire together. Aspiration comes free. You don't need to pay for aspiration, right? I want to make TCS $10 billion company in 1 decade on top of the existing $14 billion revenues what we have. Aspiration, free. You can say 10 billions, you can say 20 billions, you can say 30 billions. Aspire for it, and then start enjoying the numbers. Automatically, you'll make it before 10 years. It's a fantastic culture, right, that we can talk about. And a couple of examples I give, and I'll close. Culture of respect. In 2003, I came back from US, and there is a gentleman by name S. Padmanabhan, who is also a MTech from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, and who is an IAM, MBA, and gold medalist everywhere. So he used to be part of delivery in TCS, and somehow TCS has a best practice of bringing technology people to head the HR functions, because the core of TCS is technology.